Shalom, family, and welcome once again to Just a Word Shorts. This is Khazak Aliyahu, and we are here for another video. Today's video, we look into one of the greatest misconceptions of the Gentiles, and that is how to be grafted in. This video, how to truly be grafted in as a Gentile, is so important. Every Gentile should watch this one, because most of them believe that all they have to do is just to believe. All they do is believe, and they are now grafted in. But we are going to show that it is much deeper than that, and we are going to show you how to truly be grafted in as a Gentile. Please share this with a Gentile and look and watch it very carefully, because what is in this video is what has been hidden from most of us. Many are in for a rude awakening, thinking that they have been grafted in, and they are not. Watch this video. This teaching today is going to kill two birds with one stone. It's going to bury the Hebrew Israelite notion that Gentiles cannot be saved, cannot be grafted in. And it is also going to show the Gentiles what they really need to do to be grafted in, and show them that what they think is not necessarily what is so. So let's look at Solomon's prayer, re non-Israelites. And we go from 2 Chronicles 6 from verse 32. Moreover, concerning the stranger, and by the way, these two verses are so powerful, so powerful. 2 Chronicles 6:32. Moreover, concerning the stranger, which is not of thy people, Yasharal, not of thy people. These are people who are not Israelites. We neither northern kingdom nor southern kingdom, but is come from a far country for thy great name's sake. So because of Yahuwah's name, they left their country and they came into Yasharal. And thy mighty hand and thy stretched out arm, if they come and pray in this house. Solomon was speaking about the temple. Then hear thou from Shamaim, even from thy dwelling place, and do according to all that the stranger calleth to thee for. This here is a line for the Hebrew Israelites, who make it appear as if when Yahusha was showing mercy to the Gentiles in the New Testament, it was only limited to what they asked him for at the time, to all that they called to thee for. So if a Gentile calls to Yahusha, to Yahuwah for salvation, then Solomon is saying, grant this to them. That all people, and he's telling you why, that all people of the earth may know thy name, and fear thee as doth thy people, Yasharal. So when these people are granted salvation, then everyone else would fear Yahuwah, and may know that this house which I have built is called by thy name. So in these two verses, it speaks all about the Gentile salvation. Number one, they are strangers, not of Yasharal, not Israelites. So the Hebrew Israelites cannot claim that these are northern kingdom Gentiles. They come from a far country because of Yahuwah's name. So because of Yahuwah's name, they come to serve Yahuwah with his people. If they come to the house, so the house is the place the Most High is organized. He has a place of worship. He has a center of worship. Do according to all that the stranger asks. We looked at that before, that it's not limited. The strangers ask for salvation. Solomon is saying, grant it to them. Reason being, so all people of the earth may hear and fear just like his people. So they may know that the house is called by Yahuwah's name, under Yahuwah's authority. Why is it important that they know that it is called by Yahuwah's name? Because all nations have their own Elohim. All nations have their own mighty one. As we see Psalms 96 verse 5. For all the Elohim of the nations are idols, but Yahuwah made the heavens. So all the nations, they serve idols. So when the strangers come from afar, it is giving up their idols and coming to serve Yahuwah. 2 Chronicles 25, verse 14. 2 Chronicles 25, verse 14. And it says, Now it came to pass after that Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down himself before them, and burned incense unto them. Now, the Seir refers to Edom. So the Edomites have their own gods. And it is the Edomites who gave us Christianity and gave us the names of those gods in the religion called Christianity. Don't think that this is Jesus' name. Our previous video that we did is about the deception behind the name Jesus Christ. All right? Don't think those names are good. Just because you worship in those names and you see certain things happening, don't think those names are good. The Most High said, if you don't believe the truth, he will make you believe a lie. Understand that about the Most High. 1 Kings 11:32. But he shall have one tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Yasharal, because that they have forsaken me, and have worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, Chemosh, the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways, to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgments, as is David his father. All the nations have their gods. Yahuwah is the mighty one of Yasharal. So, Yahuwah is the Elohim, or the Alua, of one nation only, Joel 2:27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Yasharal, and that I am Yahuwah, your Alua, and none else. So it's the Alua of Yasharal and none other nation. And my people shall never be ashamed. There are gods, every nation has their gods. Yahuwah is the Elohim of Yasharal and no other nation. Get it? Clearly, when it says no other nation, he is not the Elohim of Edom, yes, or the Elohim of Moab, or the Elohim of the Amorites, whatever. No, he's the Elohim of Yasharal. But we're going to look at the but. There is a but, all right? So, because he's the Elohim of Yasharal, he promised Yasharal that he will make them to be a kingdom of priests. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. What we are trying to show you is that there's no equality when it comes to the Most High and his promises to his people. The Gentiles cannot come in and partake of this promise. We're going to show you. All right? And he shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Yasharal. And in Isaiah 61, it tells you that strangers shall stand and feed your flock, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and vine dressers, but ye shall be called the priests of Yahuwah. So this is something that is for the children of Yasharal. He's the Elohim of Yasharal, and because of that, there are certain things that are left solely for the children of Yasharal. But, and here's the but, he accepts individuals from any nation. Acts 10:34. Then Kepha opened his mouth and said, of a truth I perceive that Alua is no respecter of persons. But in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. So he accepts people from the other nations, but he does not accept the entire nation because he's the Elohim of Yasharal only. But because of his mercy, if you fear him and work righteousness as a Gentile, then you will be accepted with him on certain conditions, of course. And we're going to see the conditions to show that Messiah even spoke that there will be greatest in the kingdom and least in the kingdom. Okay? All right. So some Gentiles will be accepted in the kingdom even at the expense of some Yasharalim, of some Israelites. Matthew 8:11. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of Shamaim. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So Gentiles will even be coming in and some of our people will be kicked out. Yes? But what purpose do the Gentiles serve? We're going to get an understanding now, people. I want you to listen to this to the end to get an understanding. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. With all thy getting, but with all thy getting, get understanding. That's Proverbs 4:7. We're going to get understanding. So, what are the Gentiles for? For us to inherit them. Inheriting the Gentiles. The allure of the whole earth after we inherit the Gentiles. We'll see what I mean by this. Isaiah 54 verse 3. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left. And thy seed, speaking to the children of Yasharal, our children, thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. So when we return, as we are, it is that's time now, when we are returning back to our Father, when we are returning back to our heritage, when it happens, it says, we shall inherit the Gentiles and make the desolate cities to be inhabited, because right now, Jerusalem, Yasharal, is desolate. All right, it's not that place that they call Israel up there. Isaiah 54:4. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame, for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, that is us when we went through our captivity and all of that shame, and shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. Okay? Listen to verse 5. For thy maker is thine husband, Yahuwah Sabaoth is his name, and thy redeemer, the Holy One of Yasharal, the allure of the whole earth shall he be called. The whole earth shall he be called. Why shall he be called the allure of the whole earth? Because right now, he is not the allure of the whole earth directly. Indirectly, he has all in his hand. But right now, he has given the earth into the hand of the wicked. So when our seed inherits the Gentiles, yes, then the allure of the whole earth shall he be called. Yes? The earth is in the hand of the Gentiles. It is when we inherit them, we're going to see the meaning of inherit. Let's go to the Blue Letter Bible and see what it means to inherit the Gentiles so that Yahuwah can be the allure of the whole earth. What does it mean to inherit the Gentiles? Blue Letter Bible. Inherit is H34:23, Yarash. And let's see what Yarash actually means. To seize, dispossess, take possession of. You see it already? We shall inherit the Gentiles. We shall seize the Gentiles. We shall dispossess the Gentiles. We shall take possession of the Gentiles. We shall inherit the Gentiles. We shall occupy whatever they have. Because the riches, we shall eat the riches of the Gentiles. Impoverish the Gentiles. Be an heir of all that the Gentiles have. We shall inherit the Gentiles. To take possession of, to inherit, to impoverish, to make, they're going to come to poverty, to be poor, and we are going to be rich. We are going to be the head. Right now, we are the tail in this world. He's going to make us be the head, and they be the tail. To be dispossessed, to be impoverished, to come to poverty, to devour. We shall devour the Gentiles. To cause to possess or inherit, to cause others to possess or inherit, and it goes on. To destroy, bring to ruin, disinherit. And you can go and you can look at the different meanings. But essentially, you get the idea. You get the idea. We are going to inherit the Gentiles. They are going to be possessed by us. Okay? Remember, we're looking at the fact that you who think that you are grafted in, you're not grafted in most likely. Very few Gentiles will be grafted in. So why will we inherit the Gentiles? We inherit the Gentiles as part of the process of the Most High inheriting the earth. The Most High inherits the earth when his nation is on top and when the Gentiles are below his people. That's how he inherits the earth. Because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. The people of the Gentiles, they are the wicked. If you notice our people in this earth, nobody cares for us. Nobody cares. Nobody likes us, really. Psalms 83, we read Psalms 83, and the enemies make a tumult, and they have said, let us cut off the name of Yasharal, and they meet in the United Nations to ensure that we remain at the bottom. Nobody really, really likes us from the other nations. And so, for the Most High, who loves us more than any other nation, as he said in Deuteronomy 7, verse 6, when the time comes for him to turn things around, the Gentiles have to be under our feet for him to be the Elohim of the whole earth, because we have to be ruling and be in charge, and the Gentiles be subject to us for the Most High to be ruling. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They have the world now. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he? So he covers the faces of the judges in the United Nations. The rulers and the leaders of the world cannot see nor understand the scheme of the wicked that are executing on this earth. All right? In Psalms 82, verse 8, it says, arise, O Alua, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. Inherit all nations. The Most High is going to possess all nations. How? Through us. Through us. That's why Hamashiach said, he shall give you rule. If you overcome, you shall rule the nations. Understanding. Get understanding. This is what it means to rule the nations. The Gentiles shall be subject to us. Psalms 2 verse 8. And the Messiah will return as king over this one world kingdom. So this is the one world kingdom. The children of Yahshua will be ruling. The Gentiles be serving us. Messiah will be king over us all. And we others who are there who qualify, we will be ruling with him. Simple. Psalms 2 verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen, the Gentiles, for thine inheritance. So, the Gentiles are promised to us. The Gentiles are promised to Hamashiach. That's what's going to happen. So, when we come and we tell people about slavery and servitude that is coming, they don't understand these things. And they go, oh, get away from that. Oh, you Hebrew Israelite, get away from here with those Hebrew Israelite doctrines. And go, rule what? You're coming with a stupid doctrine. Hey, well, Christ is going to this and that. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. But with all thy getting, get understanding. So ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. That's it. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. It's going to be a hard rule. And Messiah promised us in the book of Revelation that we will do the same. Just as he received it of his Father, we are also going to receive it from him. So how will we inherit the Gentiles in the end? Remember, we're talking about grafted in. This grafted in thing is not a simple thing. Okay? You cannot be disrespecting the children of Yasharal. You cannot be in this awakening. You come out, oh, you're not Israelites. You're fake Israelites. Oh, you have an identity crisis, and you are stealing other people's thing. And I know you grew, and and nobody respected you, and now you're looking respect, and so you're coming with this thing, all sorts of things. These Gentiles, and they say they are believers, but no one wants to stop and try to understand all of these things. And they say they're grafted in, and the reason they're rubbish us, they think that we are trash. They think we are foolishness. They think we are of no significance whatsoever. And they are important because they think they have Messiah. Why this thing? One thing with this thing is sweet. Because I just hope I live to see. I cannot wait to see their faces when they realize the truth. And how they will come begging to us. And this is why the scripture is true. It says, 10 men in Zechariah, 10 men shall grab hold of him that is a Jew, and shall say, we will go with you, because we hear Yahuwah is with you. That's what's going to happen. They're going to beg us when they realize the truth. But for right now, they're not grafted in. Yeah. How will we inherit the Gentiles in the end? Isaiah 14, 1-2. We always use these verses because they are so relevant. Isaiah 14, and then we're going to go to his father, Amos, after that. Isaiah 14, 1-2. For Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Yasharal, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. This is what Gentiles are to do, to cleave to us. If you reject us, if you don't want to have anything to do with us, how are you going to reject us? You Gentiles have to know the time, understand how the scriptures are, because you have to have a mind to serve us, to be our servants, to be our slaves. You have to have that mindset in order to be grafted in. And the people shall take them. So if you don't have any respect or regard for us, how are we going to take you into the land? It says, and the people shall take them. It's not saying that Yahuwah will send them. It's you being in subjection to us that will qualify you to get in there. Yahuwah will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. What is that saying? Yahuwah is going to set us in our own land. But look at verse 2. And the people shall take them. So it's not Yahuwah that is setting them. It's we, when they cleave to us and they cling to us and they hold on to us, that is when they will go with us. They don't qualify of their own. You have to have a willingness. You have to have a willingness to serve. You have to have humility. That pride about, get away from here and you with the doctrines and your slavery doctrines and you this and that. And these people are forgetting the Most High. That the Most High's word will not come back void. How can you enslave the Most High's people? How can you treat us like this for so many years? Eh? And then expect you to just waltz in about among us or with us, just like that? No punishment, no nothing. Who do you think you're serving? You think this is God? Yahuwah is not God. You can go and try that with God. Not with Yahuwah Sabaoth, the mighty one of Yasharal. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. You see, we are doing the bringing. It's us now who are going to have the upper hand and the decision as to who to bring. And the house of Yasharal shall possess them in the land of Yahuwah for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors, as we tell you, inheriting the Gentiles. When we inherit the Gentiles, Yahusha will inherit the Gentiles as well, and we will rule the world. Let's go to Isaiah's father, Amos 9:11-12. Let's keep it in the family. 9:11-12. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom. And of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahuwah that doeth this, we are going to possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the Gentiles which are called by Yahuwah's name. These are those who are grafted in. Yes? And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Are you really grafted in? Most of you are not grafted in. We're going to show you. So how can the Gentiles cleave to us and not join themselves physically to us? How can you say you're cleaving to us and your whole desire, you reject us? You don't want to come among us. Oh, I'm grafted in. Yes, I don't need to anything to do with you. I don't need any Hey. A lot of you are going to be in for a shock of your lives. You see? You're going to be in for the shock of your lives. Yes? So, how can you cleave to us? And it says they can cleave to the house of Yahshua. The cleave there means cling, holding on tight to us. How can you hold on tight to us and you reject us? Oh, so you reject us all along. And then when you realize the truth now, you're going to come, oh yes, let me cling to you. No. No. It's going to be too late. Yahuwah is not mocked. So, here's what the Gentiles do. They forget the promises. This is the error of Christianity. Christianity has buried the promises. The Psalms 83 spirit, the anti-Messiah spirit, has come and made us forget the promises. Nothing is said about the promises to the children of Israel. Oh, we're all equal. We're all one. We are now spiritual Israelites. We are now Israel. We have now become Israel. When we come to the Messiah, we become Israel. Garbage. The Most High swore in the book of Isaiah, in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, I think 35 and 36, that Yasharal will never cease from being a nation before him forever. Let me put it on the screen, because it's very important. Very, very important. Anytime I speak about Gentiles and our salvation and everything, I get really worked up. Jeremiah, because of the audacity and how they disrespect our people and how they despise our people and how they want to partake in our salvation while looking on us like garbage. Jeremiah 31:35. Thus saith Yahuwah, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahuwah Sabaoth is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahuwah, then the seed of Yasharal also shall cease from being a nation before me forever, as long as the sun and the moon and the stars are in the sky doing their routine. Yahuwah says, Yasharal will always be a nation before him, not before you. You don't know us. Yes? You know, sometimes I hear some people, I'm here on threads and seeing some people mocking us. But how do you know you're not Israel? Black people are not Israel. These are not Israelites. You're not Israelites. You're a false claim. You're this and that and this. And I'm sitting there and say, only the Most High. They used to have a saying in Jamaica when they say, they used to say, Jesus would have to come off the cross and tell me that I'm not an Israelite. Yeah? Yeah? But these people swear that we are not. Hey. But guess what? They forgot the promises, as we said. Romans 9:4. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the splendor, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Alua, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, Alua, Barak, forever, so let it be. So, all of these things pertain to us. The adoption, the splendor, the covenants, the given. They don't understand that these things still pertain to us. It's not for everybody. It's not for you. You get to partake of our salvation through the mercy of the Most High, but the Most High reserved certain things because he made certain things, promises to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that he has to fulfill. He cannot lie. He cannot go back on his promises. He cannot break a promise or he will not be Yahuwah. Yahuwah does not break promise. He's not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. So all of these things here, they belong to us, not to you. Yes? That is why you have to cleave to us, because all of these things belong to us, and for you to partake any at all, you have to hang on to us. You cannot be us. You remain a stranger that sojourns with us. Yes? Now, what did the Torah say? We're going to look at what did the Torah say? What did the Messiah say? What did Apostle Shaul, who is always their rescue, we're going to look at what he says as well. So what did the Torah say? Leviticus 16, verse 29. And this shall be a statute forever unto you, that in the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, ye shall afflict your souls, and do no work at all, whether it be one of your own country, or a stranger that sojourneth among you. We're going to look at the meaning of sojourneth. This is where we are at grafting in now. You have to understand these words here. Sojourneth among you. Say it again. We're in basic school class. Say it again, class. Sojourneth among you. Say it again, students. Sojourneth among you. These two words. It's going to show you that you're not grafted in. So what did Yahusha say? To show you why it's important. Yes? Luke 19:27. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. So his enemies have to be grafted in, or else slay them before him. Okay? So the Torah says the stranger sojourneth among them. The Messiah said the stranger has to want him to rule over them. Yes? But let's look at the meaning, before we look at Apostle Shaul, let's look at the meaning of sojourneth. H 1481, and we're going to look at the meaning of among. H 1481. Sojourneth, it's the Hebrew word gur, which means to sojourn, to abide, to dwell in, dwell with. You see what I'm talking about? Grafted in, why not grafted in? To sojourn means you are dwelling with them, you're living with them, living amongst them. And we're going to look at grafted in to show you that it is the same. Because there's nothing new in the New Testament, it's just manifestation of the old. To remain, to inhabit, to be a stranger, to be continuing, surely. To sojourn, dwell for a time. To abide, stay, temporarily dwell. To seek hospitality with. This is grafted in. They're going to seek mercy by being among us. To assemble oneself, you assemble with us. How can you say you're grafted in and you don't want to assemble with us? To stir up trouble, strife, quarrel, gather together. They always have something that is out. All right? To excite oneself, to dread fear, to be fear, be afraid, to be in awe, to stand in awe. And this one is relevant because you are in awe of the power and the might of Yahuwah and of what is to come. And so you sojourn among his people, you stay among his people for protection. And that is why we tell the Hebrew Israelites, this is how our people are saved. This is how Gentiles are saved. They come among us for protection so that they avoid the problems that are coming upon this earth. When the Most High's wrath has hit this earth, then sojourning with us means that they will be spared the wrath of Yahuwah. So you sojourn, you rest, remain, abide among. Let's look at the meaning of among. H8432. Midst, middle. So you sojourn in the middle of them. You're not there by yourself all over, in your own place, in your own space, in your own time. Oh, I'm grafted in. Oh, I'm so... In the middle, in the midst, into, through, among, between, of things arranged between twos. So if you have twos, you are in the middle of the two. From among. Yes? The Strong's definition. A bisection. The center. So you're in the middle, in the midst, among. Hanging on to his people. That is what it means to be grafted in. So in saying so now, let's see what Shaul says in Romans 11. Romans 11 verse 17. I'm telling you people, most of the Gentiles, they are not grafted in. Romans 11 verse 17. And if some of the branches be broken off, and you being a wild olive tree were grafted in among, there we go again. That word among. How can you be grafted in and you're not among us? And you might say, okay, it's spiritual. It's spiritual. So how are you going to cleave to us? How are you going to be taken by us if you're not with us? How are you going to cleave to the house of Yasharal? How can the people take them to their place in the land of Yahuwah if you're not with us? Have to be among them. And with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree, because you have to look at grafting in. When you're grafted in, you are there being sustained by the same tree that sustains the people that you're grafted in amongst. All right? Boast not against the branches. And this is what they're doing when they're rejecting us. Boasting against us. Oh, we don't need you. We are grafted in. We have Yahushua Mashiach. Who needs you? Yes, you're just pretenders. You're just claiming something, an inheritance that is not yours. But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. So Shaul is using here the spiritual and the physical. So he's saying, you're grafted by faith, but don't boast on those people who are already there. For if Allah spared not the natural branches, the children of Israel, take heed lest he also spare not thee. Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of Allah on them which fell, severity. But towards thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness, otherwise thou shalt be cut off. So if you are grafted into the tree, and you come on the tree and you're boasting, that means you are speaking against those who are on the tree, those who are the natural branches of the tree. You are now on the tree and you're boasting. Oh, get away, we don't need you. Hey, I'm grafted in. Hey, look at me. I'm grafted in. I'm there with you. Yes, I'm serving. I'm this. The Most High said, take care. Yes? Or else his goodness turned into badness. Verse 23, and they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in again, for Allah is able to graft them in again. So he's able to bring back in his people, which he's going to do in the end time through this awakening. For if thou wert cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, so you were taken from your Gentile tree, that is wild, and were grafted in and brought in among, and grafted from your wild tree and brought in among the children of Israel into a good olive tree, how much more shall these which be the natural branches be grafted into their own olive tree? So it's easy for us, very easy for us. That's what it's saying, but it's hard for you.